students, this is A. Mandri Kumar Rajesh. Today I am going to teach a topic called terminology related to Mendelism and Mendel's law of heredity. I did earlier videos on basics or fundamental ideas to make the concept easy for you and to understand. So please remember all the basic things in your mind. From this video onwards, I am going to teach you the gist content of the chapter Classical Genetics. So please listen carefully, my dear boys and girls. First, I go with the terms. So I am going to explain these terms with the help of Mendelian monohybrid cross. The first term, homozygous. Homozygous means a particular gene that has two identical alleles on both homologous chromosomes. I explain the term with the help of Mendelian cross. So it is a homologous chromosome. It is a homologous chromosome. It has two identical alleles. It has two identical alleles on both homologous chromosomes. That condition is called as homozygous condition. The next term, cross-pollination. The next term, cross-pollination. It means the breeding between two different individuals that results in young one that carries genetic material of each parent. So the breeding between two different individuals results in the young ones that carries the genetic material of each parent. So look at this young one. It has capital T and small t. So this is called cross-pollination because it receives the capital T from the mother and it receives the small t from the father. So it carries each genetic material from their parents. So the term is called cross-pollination. The next term, filial. Filial denotes the young ones of the cross. Filial denotes the young one of the cross. So this is called F1 generation. That means filial one generation. So this is the young one we get by this cross. This is the young one we get by this cross. That is called filial. The next term is called heterozygous. The next term called heterozygous. Hetero means different. Hetero means different. So heterozygous means a particular gene that having two different alleles on both homologous chromosomes. So it is a homologous chromosome and it has two different alleles. It has two different alleles. One contains capital T, other contains small t. So this condition is called as heterozygous. Then put in a bracket, that word is called hybrid. That word is called hybrid. Hybrid is nothing but the young one is differ from their parents. Differ from the parents because the parents have, the mother have capital T, but in the case of father, small t, but in the case of the progeny, it has capital T and small t. So that condition is called as hybrid. That condition is called as hybrid. The next term, dominant allele. The next term, dominant allele. So dominant allele means the trait, one which is expressed in F1 generation. The trait, one which is expressed in the F1 trait is called the dominant allele. So in F1 trait, the trait expressed is tall. Expressed is the tall character. So the dominant allele is tall. That means capital T. Then recessive allele. Recessive allele means the trait, one which is suppressed in the F1 generation is called recessive allele or recessive trait. In this, recessive allele is small t. In this, recessive allele is small t because it is suppressed in the F1 generation. The next term, self-pollination. The next term, self-pollination. Self-pollination means the pollen, the transfer of pollen grain on the stigma of a same flower is called self-pollination. In other words, the crosses between the same generation. The crosses between the same generation. Here I put the term selfing. Here F1 cross with F1. I told you cross between the same generation. So that is called self-pollination. The next term is called Punnett Square. The next term is called Punnett Square. Punnett Square means it is a graphical representation. It is a graphical representation to calculate the probabilities of the possible genotypes of all offsprings or all young ones. Again I tell you, it is a graphical representation to calculate probabilities of all genotype of all young ones. So it is a Punnett Square. I plotted all the possible genotypes of the young ones. Here we have three possibilities: capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, small t, small t. So Punnett Square is used to calculate all the possible genotype of a young one. The next term, phenotype. The next term, phenotype. We can define phenotype simply. It is a physical appearance or morphological character or behavior of a trait. So if a plant looks tall, that is a physical appearance or a morphological character. So phenotype means a physical appearance. Here you are telling the plant is tall. That means it shows a physical appearance tall. Then the genotype. Some plants look tall because of the genetical makeup. Here we have capital T, capital T. So the plant should be tall. So the genetic constituent of a plant is called genotype. Then the next term, homologous chromosome. Homologous chromosome means they are similar in size, they are similar in position of centromere, and they are similar in position of gene. Homologous chromosome means they are similar in size, they are similar in position of centromere, and they are similar in position of gene. The next term, gene. Gene is a segment of DNA which codes for single polypeptide chain. Gene is otherwise called as functional unit of inheritance. Then the next term, allele. Allele is otherwise called as source of variation. Allele can be defined as alternative form of a gene. By these terms, I am going to conclude. I think I have mentioned maximum number of terms which are utilized often in Mendelian crosses.